Well, hello, and welcome to the Charlotte Mason Enrichment Podcast. I'm your host, Elise Thompson, and today is a special podcast episode because we are talking about all things connected to the 2026 Charlotte Mason Enrichment Podcast. Excited to dive into everything that you're going to experience and just the vision and what you're walking away with from this year's conference. And so to help me do that, I have my friend Rachel Bird on the podcast with me. Welcome, Rachel.
Thanks, Elise. Glad to be here.
Yay! Well, this is our third year hosting the Charlotte Mason Enrichment Podcast. Not the podcast, sorry, the conference. And man, I just feel like every year it gets better and better. And man, what a joy it is to be able to do this again for the third year. So if you're new to the conference, it is simply just a gathering of Charlotte Mason educators, just a day and an opportunity to refocus, to be recharged, and just to have fresh vision. A lot of people start their school year in, September, August time. And so we are very strategic to host the conference in July. So that way, as you're beginning to plan and prepare and think about next year, you're coming in with fresh eyes and fresh vision. So that is a little bit of how we got started. This year, we have an amazing theme. We're very excited, and we're going to share with you the theme and just tell you kind of the heart and the vision behind it. So, Rachel, what is our theme for this year?
Well, our theme for this year is for the love of learning. And I know we always think about learning, and we think about our kids and homeschooling. But this year, we are really making a focus on the mother and on the atmosphere that the mother brings, even in her own education. So we will be talking about things that related to your children's education. But we're really going to focus on letting the mother just step in to her own education and experiencing some of the things that can be joyful about your own education. So when you are a mother and you're homeschooling, you really are modeling in so many ways how to approach learning to your children. And a mother who is educated, who is continuing her education, she's feeding her mind, which is what Charlotte Mason talked about. We feed our bodies, we feed our spirits with devotions and Bible reading and prayer, but we also feed our minds and our intellects so that we don't grow dull or we just get bored. I think, moms can do that so many times. We have all the things that we're trying to, keep people alive, but to focus on how we are learning, how we are even sometimes struggling with something that's a little bit new. These are all ways that we're modeling to our kids how education isn't something that is just when they're being homeschooled, when they're teenager, kids up through teenagers, but also this is a lifelong adventure that they're entering on and one that their mother is doing as well.
Yeah, no, that's so good. I've just been pondering our theme and for this year, and I think it's just so true. Like as the mother goes, so the children go. I was even just thinking about, my own love for books and going to the library. And I took my kids yesterday and we walked in and they're just like, I just love the library. And I was like, yes, I've done something right. They love the library. But it's just, that's something that I loved as a child and as an adult. And so sharing that with them, they've caught on to that love too. Or, it's almost springtime. We're preparing for gardening. And that's something that I've been talking about and we've been learning on together. And so it's something that they're interested in too. And so those are just small ways to exemplify that as the mother goes, so the family goes. And I bet, you can, reflect on some of the things that you love and that you've been intentional about and just seeing how that's reflected in your children's lives. And so we are just so excited to just provide space for moms to really embrace that love of learning. The tagline for the conference is nourishing the mother, strengthening the home. And when the mom is nourished, and not, just feeding off of leftovers, that trickles over into her home life, into her family. And so we're really excited about this year's theme and just spreading the feast not
Yeah,
only for the children, but for the mom.
for the moms. That's so great. Well, Elise, who are the keynote speakers this year?
Yes, that is also a big part of the conference is we love just bringing in, impactful, relevant voices. And so this year, we're so excited that Karen Glass is going to be coming to Tulsa. Bravo, bravo. So excited. Karen Glass spoke virtually at our first conference. And this year she's going to come in person. Man, I've heard Cindy Rollins say this one time and it stuck with me. She said, Karen Glass is such a brilliant mind to learn from. And I was like, I would 100% agree. If you just listen to her talk, like she could tell she's just a wealth of knowledge and information. She really exemplifies for the love of learning. When I first started, down the Charlotte Mason journey, that was one of her books was the first one that I read. And so she's had a huge impact on me. I know she's had a huge impact on many others. So I'm excited for us to just all learn from her. If you're able to come in person, you'll get to sit in the same room and just learn from her. So we're really excited to have her come. We've got some amazing presenters that are going to be sharing in our breakout sessions, but she's the first one that I asked last year, before last year's conference. And so grateful that she's accepted our invitation. So that's going to be great. We'll share more about the other speakers, but she's going to be our keynote for this year.
Sounds good. Well, then we're going to talk a little bit about the VIP session
Yes.
this year. Did you want me to tell about what it was like last year?
Yeah. So last year was our first year to just add a little something extra to the conference experience. It's a full day on Saturday, but last year we added a Friday evening session to it. And so we just wanted to create, just opportunity for moms to connect more. So obviously you attended that. Tell us a little bit about your experience with the VIP session.
Well, the VIP session, it's a smaller group. It was such a nice dinner and time to just chat with some of the other attendees. I heard from several who were sitting around me who were just really excited that they had somewhere to go the night before, somewhere to connect and kind of land before the day before the conference. And then it was also just a more casual experience and conversation with Cindy Rollins, who was there last year. Cindy Rollins shared a little bit more informally, and there was a lot more just kind of back and forth conversation. And we also got to do a painting together, which was fun and relaxing. And it was great to see just all the moms being able to sit at the table, laugh and talk together, meet new friends or come with the old friends and just have a time that's for mom.
Yeah.
So it was great. It was great.
It's like a homeschool mom's night out.
That's right. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing that again. For me, it's just an opportunity to pamper the moms and to celebrate them and make them feel special, to have some of the things that we all just love. We love getting to chat with, other people who are in the same season or, maybe, think the same as us or experiencing the same thing. So just a great opportunity to connect with people, for it to just to be casual. Like I asked last year for Miss Cindy and this year for Miss Kieran, like just like we're just having dinner together and we're just conversating and, pretend like maybe I'm your daughter's friends and you're just, pouring into me as a mom that's more experienced. Like we just want it to be kind of that like mentorship type conversation. And then this year we're actually adding a couple extra things, extra components to the VIP experience. We're gonna have some afternoon classes. So fun fact, if y'all don't know, Rachel is a wizard at helping people to schedule their school year and then schedule your days. And so last year she started, dabbling into that with other families in our community. And I was fortunate enough to be one of those. And it was such a game changer for me just to have a lot more clarity around planning my year and then planning my days, scheduling my days, especially with 3 students. It was just so helpful. And even, I mean, there's probably people you've met with that maybe we have 1 student or 2 students. Like, it doesn't really matter the size, but just the clarity that that brought for me was like, man, I really want to give other people an opportunity to experience that. And so she's agreed to do that as a part of our afternoon VIP session. So she's going to take time with the group that can come to that. And then we'll have a little bit of a break. And then we're going to dive into one of the most requested or the most asked questions of somebody who's new and even somebody who's, been in it for a little while. Rachel, what is that question that people are always asking about?
No, what curriculum should I use?
Should I use?
That's right.
That's a big question. That's been a big question for me. Maybe it's just me, but I have a feeling it's not.
No.
And so we're going to take the top 5 Charlotte Mason curriculums that are out there that are, true to Charlotte Mason as close as possible. We're going to take those 5, and we have gathered people from our local community that have been doing it for several years, that have, done all the forms or most of the forms, and are just really well versed in these curriculums. We're going to interview them. We're going to ask them some of the same questions so you can get apples to apples comparison of each of the curriculums. And so not only will you get that, but then you'll also get to meet individually with, or maybe in a small group with those users. And so you'll get to look at the books that they have. You'll get to look at their um, what was the word?
Their lesson plan layouts. Right.
Yeah, lesson plan layouts. Just, you'll get your hands and your eyeballs on what those curriculums look like. Because sometimes you can go on a website and look at things, but it's just really great to talk to somebody who has experience with that.
It's so good to get that information of just how can this look in real life and
Yes.
not just, ideally how they have it set up on the website, but how much does that translate into reality in a family?
Yes.
So I'm excited about that part. They're going to have their own tables where you can go. If there was one curriculum that you really had questions about, you can talk to these people who have done the curriculum and see, if you have specific questions, you can ask them. So we're excited about that.
Very excited to offer that as a part of the VIP experience. So that is the VIP experience. I mean, that in and of itself is like phenomenal, but there's more. We haven't even got to Saturday yet. So Saturday is going to be so great. We're going to kick off the day with Hannah Friedmaker. For those of you who haven't found her YouTube channel, she every month provides full songs and hymns, and she sings them, produces them. Sometimes she has her husband or her kids do it. And so she's been a part of the conference for the past few years. And man, it is just like cherry on top to have her to be a part.
It's such a sweet time. Last time it was so it's just calming and also uplifting and centering. It's just a way to step into the day that it's just a beautiful way to step into the day. That's
Absolutely.
about it.
Sometimes it's like when you're getting to something by yourself as a mom, it can just be, a lot of just making sure all your ducks in a row, that your family's taken care of, your whatever responsibilities. And so it is so refreshing to just like take a deep breath and to remember that like Jesus is at the center of it all.
Yeah.
And so great way to start off the day. So we'll kick it off with Hannah, and then Karen Glass will share as our keynote speaker. And then Rachel, tell about how we're formatting the day.
Okay, well, this time, and I think we had a lot of people who wanted those breakout sessions back. And so this time in our space, we are able to have really like a variety of breakouts. So, what we're doing is we have two tracks. The morning track will be equip classes, and those are to help you as a mother implement the Charlotte Mason education in your homes. So, those are, did you want me to go ahead and
You go for it.
I'll just share those. We are having a mother culture class with Beth Howard. We are having a class on schooling multiples, one mom, many kids. Karen Glass is going to do a narration breakout session for us. Um, we have a session on getting started with CN. So those questions, those frequently asked questions on how do I get started? We have a session on that. And then I will be doing a session for the middle school to high school transition. Uh, Having Charlotte Mason follow you all the way through, it's been such a gift. So that's how we're doing the morning. And then we'll have a lunchtime. And the afternoon track is experience when we're allowing moms to just step into that learning and maybe even remember what it feels like to learn, to love it again, and to really have some joy. We have some great breakouts for that. So we have one, crafting a mother's book list. That's going to be really fun. Nature study and how a mom can keep up with her own nature study and enjoy it. Watercolor. We're going to have one where you get to make something and just enjoy watercolor and ask some questions on how to best implement that in a realistic way in your home. And then we're going to have a Shakespeare breakout where you, as moms, can experience and enjoy and have fun and hopefully have some laughs and just good time talking about Shakespeare and experiencing maybe a scene or two from one of his plays. So that is how the two tracks are going to go.
Yep. So we have the equip classes. It's going to just equip you
Mhm.
as a home educator, and then the experience classes where you just get to be and sit in the seat of the learner, and just enjoy it, just for the fun of it.
Yes.
So we're excited for that. So we'll have those two tracks. We'll come back together this year. We're excited to sing some folk songs with Hannah. That's something that we haven't done before, so that'll be really fun. And then after that, Karen Glass is going to continue her part two of her keynote session. We'll also have Q&A panel after that. And something that we forgot to mention that is, I think, just a really important part of our conference is that after each session, so each class, there's going to be time for narration and reflection. I know when I was telling my husband just about all my thoughts about the conference, he's like, I've been to a lot of conferences, and sometimes it can feel like you're just being talked at to all day long. And it's so much good information, but it almost feels like a fire hose. Like you're just getting, just shot at with so much information that it can be hard sometimes to process it and to think how I'm going to implement it. And I was like, narration will help you to
Right.
break it down into smaller bites to think about what's most important to you and then how you're going to implement it into your own life and into your own home. And so there's going to be that time for narration amongst the other women at the conference, and in your specific classes, and then just time of reflection. And so we're really excited and we really believe in that component of the conference. So that is something that you'll get to experience. And then at the end, we're having what's going to be called a commissioning service where we just take time to just pray, just pray over each woman. Um, I know for me, I don't want to do anything without the Lord's help because I know if it's just me, I'm surely going to mess something up.
Mhm.
But just an opportunity to just pray over each person and to bless each family. So that's something that we've done the past few years that has just felt really special. So that is all that's going to be happening this week. Well, most of it. There's going to be some element of surprises because I love a good surprise.
Yes.
So there might be some other fun things up our sleeves, but you can get a good understanding of what you'll be a part of if you come to the conference. So not only do we have in-person experiences, which obviously that's the best way to experience the conference, not only because you'll get to be in a room with hundreds of other Charlotte Mason educators, but you get to, just talk to people, ask questions, learn from each other.
Mhm.
And so that, is the best way. But we understand, like, Tulsa may not be close to everybody. And so we do provide virtual experience. So this year you'll be able to watch the conference in its entirety virtually. So, if you say, man, I really want to watch the mother's education class with Beth, and I really want to do the nature study, like, you'll be able to do that in real time and experience it all. Um, or another option that we did last year that was so fun, if I didn't live close to Tulsa and I was going to attend virtually, this would be the option that I would pick. And it's to watch it with other people. So we have a virtual party host option. So if you have other Charlotte Mason buddies that you maybe rub shoulders with, or if you are part of a community, you guys can gather together in someone's home or wherever you choose and watch the conference all together. So it's like having a conference experience in the comfort of your home with your people. And so we had some ladies that did that. Several, I think we had about 5 or 6 virtual parties, and it was just really cool to hear just the testimonies and just the joy that it brought people to be able to do it not by themselves, but with other people. So that is a couple ways you can experience it virtually. Rachel, do people get to have the replays after the conference is over?
Yes. Yes, we get to have replays. That's the great thing, because we can't, make it to all of the sessions. So it's really nice to be able to go home later and if they're get to experience those other sessions that you couldn't at the conference.
Yes.
So that's really great.
Yeah. So it's great. You'll be able to go back, watch the classes you missed if you want to go back because it was just so good. It was nice. Want to do it twice.
And rewatch.
You can rewatch it, which definitely recommend. So that'll be available with any ticket you purchase. You'll get to have the replays. So, okay. Let's see here. What are some frequently asked questions that people may wonder about with the conference?
Um, I would say, oh, I know one. Our husband's welcome.
Our husband's welcome. That is a great question.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Husbands are welcome to come. I will say this is definitely a women's conference. So if your husband's going to come, he's going to be hanging with the ladies. But
But we've had some.
we have,
And they had.
they hung with the ladies.
That's right. That's
So
right.
we definitely had, and we love to see it. Like we love to see some dads come, um, and just be a part and learn. And so absolutely husbands can come.
Mhm. Well, can kids come?
That's a great question. That is one we get often into. Obviously, we love kids, but this day is for the moms. This day is for the moms.
Right.
It's a different experience if are trying to, tend to your children and learn. We just want this to be special for the moms. So we do ask that, kids, find some other accommodations. Obviously, if you've got a nursing babe that's not mobile, then they can totally come. But again, we want moms to just have an opportunity to focus and to be present and to prioritize themselves. And so hopefully you'll be able to find accommodations for your children. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I'm trying to think what are some other
What were those
questions.
we had on there?
Obviously, we mentioned you'll get the replays of all the
Mhm.
conference. And if you're not able to, or it's just hard to pick, like which equip class do I want to go to? Which experience class? It can be hard, but just know that you'll get to have access to them all. So that is, that would be something that I would want to know. So
Okay, what if I am a homeschooling mom, but I don't do Charlotte Mason methods?
yeah,
Is this conference still for me?
that's a great question. So this conference is definitely specifically for Charlotte Mason educators,
Mhm.
but I really believe that you'll definitely get something out of it.
Yeah, I think so.
You'll definitely her principles, while you may not, implement them all,
Hmm.
they're really for anybody.
They are, and they can be implemented. I'm looking at these classes and thinking all of these things. because it's a living education, they can be applied no matter where you are or what stage of, homeschooling you're at. Um, they can, you can find something and learn something in any of these. So I think it's, yeah,
Yeah.
come on and have fun and
Absolutely.
maybe learn something, a different way of doing something that brings joy to your homeschool.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, Rachel, what about if they're new? Like they're just deciding they want to homeschool and they just found out about Charlotte Mason.
Well, this would be a great conference. We've got some great classes for you.
Yeah.
This is a great way if the VIP session and just talking about scheduling and then letting some of the curriculums, seeing why people pick certain curriculums and how they've made it work. Even to the getting started with Charlotte Mason class that we're going to have with Sarah Logston, and then the experience classes where you get to experience how this will feel for your kids in some way to have these experiences and just to get a little taste of it.
Yeah.
This is how a Charlotte Mason education can look. So for sure, this would be a great place to come, possibly make some connections,
Yeah.
and just learn a little bit more.
Yeah. I think the same could be, true instead of somebody who's like you, where you're on your last student and they're going to be graduating really soon. Like there's something for those moms too.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Crafting the mother's book list. I think, as we're talking about mother's education and just remembering what it's like to be a learner as you get to those older ages,
Mhm.
uh, it's a big transition for mom. I think. Yeah,
Yeah.
to go to go from homeschooling full time to what's next.
Yeah.
But I think having that really pouring in and having that time to remember that you are a person and you need to be fed and your like intellectual, your mind, all of those sides, um, it actually opens a door for you, I think, and it can open doors for you to know what you wanna do next.
Yeah.
And, um, and not that that's why we do it, but I have seen the things that bring me joy are the things that I'm leaning into more and more as my kids get older and more independent. So, and also just a time to kind of rejoice over how things have gone and be excited and, I'm thinking of a word. Like, this is what happens to your mind at the end of an education. I was going, celebrate. I was like, it starts with a C. To celebrate this education and to celebrate and even to be, pouring out to these other moms who are on the opposite end of the journey and going, "Can I make it? Can we do this?"
That's so
Just
good.
to say, "You can," and it's gonna look different for everyone, but, the Holy Spirit will lead you and guide you
Yeah.
into what your family needs, into what you need and what your children need.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, I think there'll be something for pretty much everyone.
So whatever season of home educating you're in, whether you're thinking about it, you're just getting started, you're a little further in, or you can see the end. There's something for everybody at this conference. And so, man, we're so excited. So I think we forgot to tell people the date of the conference. That would be helpful.
That would be helpful.
So we're meeting July 17th and 18th, 2026, Tulsa, Oklahoma.
That's right.
And we're excited for a new venue this year.
Yes.
Loved having it at the silos, but it got a little snug.
Breakouts were not really very possible there,
Mhm.
and that's what even people had said they kind of wanted more of. So we found this location,
Yeah.
and we have room for breakouts, and it's really exciting. It's exciting to have this new space and lots of parking.
Yes. Lots of parking.
Easy access to restaurants. It's around 81st and Lewis. And
Yeah.
so there are restaurants all around there for our lunch time. You can
Mhm.
take a break or you can bring your own lunch, which I know that's generally what I do anywhere I go is bring my own lunch. But it's really, it feels like a great growth
Yeah.
place
We're
to be.
excited. So we're going to be at the Global Learning Center on the campus of Oral Roberts University this year. And so we're grateful for them hosting us. And yeah, it's going to be great. So tickets go on sale for the conference on March 2nd. And so we're excited to just open the floodgates open for the conference. If you're interested in the VIP sessions, there's only 50 spots. It's not very many. We sold out last year, and I think we're going to do it. I know we're going to do it again. It'll probably be a little quicker this year. So if you're interested in the VIP experience, grab your tickets. General admission, right now we've got 150 spots open. We might be able to do more. We'll have to see, but 150 spots, and then really anybody. We are unlimited on the virtual experience. So again, March 2nd is when tickets open. The website is charlottemasonenrichment.com/conference is where you can get all the information that we talked about. And then that will be where you can get your tickets. So, Rachel, anything else we need to tell the ladies about the conference?
I think that's about all, right?
Yeah, I think
We're gonna tell the ticket prices?
well, still getting those numbers.
Still getting the numbers in. Okay, that sounds good.
Go to the website. You'll find out the ticket price. If you have any additional questions, feel free to shoot me an email, Elise, Elise, charlottemason.enrichment.com. Happy to answer any questions that you have. I think that's all we've got for you guys today. So we always have to remember what Charlotte says, that the only true education is self-education. So we're never going to stop learning, and we're never going to stop growing. And we really hope to see you at this year's conference. And until next time, we'll see you soon.